Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here, and quick update for you on Thursday the 17th of November. Sometimes the weather really does just annoy me. It doesn't play ball, and today's one of those days. After the forecast yesterday talking about a big flip coming up, things looking like they could potentially go colder, I still think this flip is underway. It's just not as clear today as it was yesterday. These are the 500 millibar charts. Above normal heights shown by the orange here, below normal heights by the blue, and you'll notice how today, look, we've got this blocking effect. It's this above normal height in the 500 millibars east of the country that basically is blocking off high pressure here to the east, low pressure out to the west, where we've got those below the normal heights. As I run through the sequence, you'll notice how those heights build to the east of the country. That's indicating a blocking high trying to build in towards eastern areas, but notice the strong jet coming across the Atlantic, coming up against that height, possibly turning the flow more southerly and actually bringing milder conditions than we were predicting yesterday. But I've got to say, this is so far so dodgy. It really is quite amazing. Changes with every single run, and I think that does indicate that this major flip is going to take place next week in the pattern. It's just deciding on exactly what's going to be happening. It's just difficult to try and pick out, and as we run on through the sequence, you'll notice here that into the early part of next week we'll lose those above normal heights. Things go back to normal with a westerly flow as the ridge builds off the coast of the state. So there's actually nothing on that model run. That's from the GFS ensemble, and there's nothing on there at the moment that would particularly trouble me too much. And if we bring up the NAO forecast, this is the NAO forecast from Dr. Ryan Maui's site, and notice how it stays positive and it briefly dips into negative territory around the 29th, but then comes back to neutral again during the beginning of December. And really, that's where you'd expect it to be. Positive is a very strong westerly flow, negative tends to bring in colder easterly winds, and neutral kind of bumbles along with neither one thing nor the other. And it looks as if that could be the way we kind of just trip into winter at the end of this month. It could just be a gradual cooling off of things, a loss of temperature through the atmosphere that just brings in colder days. And let's just take a look at the Arctic oscillation again from Dr. Ryan Maui's site, and you know, that's showing very, very similar things. I mean, it's kind of just hinting at the idea that our winds, the westerly flowing winds in the northern hemisphere around the Arctic Circle, stay in positive territory, and that's kind of what you'd expect to see. That's normal westerly flow. Now, of course, the difficulty is in deciding, is this just a phenomena of the GFS model? Is it just playing games, or what are the other models looking like too? Well, this is 240 hours, so this is a week on Sunday from the ECMWF, and you notice how it's built this ridge look over the east, central eastern parts of Europe here, pumping in mild air all the time across the country, and bringing warmer conditions on a southerly flow. Now compare that to what model is this one? This is the operational GFS model. So compare it to this one. Again, look, it's built the region there at upper levels, but here we've got a much sharper trough out towards the west, bringing a westerly flow, some rain to Scotland and Western Ireland. Could be a little bit of rain across central and southern England, but essentially it's dry and it's relatively mild. And then if we look at the GFS ensemble model for the same date, so Sunday the 27th, less of the ridge built in. Now this is kind of what you expect to see from the ensembles, because it does tend to smooth things out, but it's still got the ridge there, look, got the trough out towards the east, keeping the low much further north than the operational GFS did, with a mild southwesterly flow again. So where does that leave us? Well, I think I am confused at the moment. It kind of leaves us with a changing pattern. I still believe fundamentally there's going to be a changing pattern during the middle to the back end of next week, although I might be clutching at straws a little bit here. I initially thought that would be into a cold pattern, but all the models today going for it staying milder. But don't be surprised if this doesn't change again in in the next couple of days. We really are going through a transition period at the moment where almost the weather machine is getting itself sorted out for winter. I was talking to Bob, our long-range forecasting expert, yesterday, talking about what could happen, and he's still happy that there's going to be a cold winter, but I have to say I'm not entirely convinced. I'll do some work on it and I'll keep you up to date on it. But for the time being, do keep the sun shining, and don't forget this site gets recharged by the adverts you see around the site, so do click on them, do go through to an advertiser if you like what you see. It supports us, it supports the advertiser as well. So thanks for watching. Sorry if that kind of leaves you with no further conclusions, but that's kind of where I am as well at the moment. You know, sometimes even the weatherman can't work it out. So we'll see where we are. But thanks for watching, and keep the sun shining.